Hi, I'm Danny Palacio, and I'm the host of A Waking Moment podcast. I'm welcoming you today to a series, and it's called the Goddess series. And I love that as I was spending time late last year, tuning in, asking for guidance, and just really pondering what topics I would be covering in 2025. It was very clear that there are goddesses, archetypes of the divine feminine, various qualities, things they're associated with that wanted to come forth, that wanted to be shared. And so there are 5 goddesses in this series. And I welcome you to just keep your mind open. If the word goddess is something that you don't really resonate with, think of it more as a feminine archetype, a character in history, and be open to the qualities that this particular goddess is offering, that stands for, right? Like each one is specific to a particular area, to a way of life, a perspective of life. And I invite you to try them on, right? And just see if any of them inspire you. See if any of them really like trigger you, because that's an area, like, being triggered is not a bad thing, by the way, but having a response, a reaction to something, to information, to a perspective, lets you know that there is something within you that is not okay with it, and why. Ask the question why. We are here for such a limited time in human form, and it really is. It's such a small amount of time when you consider the age of the earth, right? And so stay open and stay willing, and ask yourself, if you get to a sticky point where it's like, I can't believe she just said that. That is something I do not agree with. Like, you get really like, oh my goodness. If that should happen, I did part of my job then, because it gives you the opportunity to say, why? Why do I feel that way? Why do I have such a strong negative reaction? And same is true for the positive, right? Like, we don't often question the positive because it feels good. And I think it's worth investigating a bit. Like, if you're like so easily swayed and everything is wow. I, I think it's a blessing personally. So I think you're personally on the right path. But for the greater context of this series, ask yourself, what makes you feel so good? What makes you feel like, what inside of you taught you that that is something that you can have, that that is something that feels good, that is right, that there's no barriers to, because you'll want to know, so that when you get to that sticky point, or you get to that I don't know point, you can remember what it feels like to say, oh yeah, that resonates, that feels good, that makes a ton of sense to me. It helps us know our own parameters of our journey, and our journey is full of lessons, opportunities, people, experiences. And we're going to go back in history, and I'm going to talk about, teach, and share about 5 goddesses in 2025. And they won't be all the time, but 5 within the next 12 months, absolutely. And so stay tuned, and the next episode of the Goddesses will begin in just a moment. I welcome you to the Goddess series. It's the first goddess, one of 5 for the year, and her name is Sulis, Sulis. If you've never heard of her, stay tuned, because you're going to learn a lot, and there's a wonderful opportunity to recognize yourself within her story. And so here's where we're going to start. We're going to start at understanding how old this particular goddess is. So, and we don't have an exact date, but we know that she is known and honored in the city of Bath, and that is in England. It's in Somerset, and it's a beautiful city. I've actually had the privilege of traveling there, and this was years and years ago. I think about how all those years at Intel, the first round of Intel, I was there for almost 12 years, and I started in 1995. Had just graduated college. I needed a job. And as I worked there, I was able to travel to England quite a lot. And one of my coworkers said, "What are you doing this weekend?" Because I was there for a bit. And she offered to take me to Bath. And I went. And it was the most profound city that I had experienced, because we were in England, but we drove up to this city, and I thought I was in Italy. Excuse me. It was so Italian, so Roman specific. And I come to find out that there are Roman baths there, which is kind of an interesting history of the Romans conquering this particular part of England, and there were natural, like, hot springs, mineral baths there, and they created a Roman bath. Think about a city that dates like 900 years before Christ, 900 years BC. So we're talking, let's just say 1,000 years. Like, it goes back. And it has this history, and there's a beautiful abbey that was created. Kings and queens visited. This was a beautiful place to come and restore yourself. And the history of people, and again, really important places for kings and queens to come and visit. And I just think that there's a lot of beauty in the city of Bath. So that's just one element of Sulis's story. And I'm not going to go into tons of history. I just wanted to give you some context as to where we're going. And she's a goddess that the Romans introduced, although she is more identified now as Celtic. And it makes sense. She's a beautiful goddess, and she has some really powerful dates and some things that represent her that would completely put her in the Celtic realm of goddesses. And we're going to talk a little bit about her history. I've put a playlist together, so please check out the summary. It's a playlist from Spotify. I've listed each song on the summary, and so you can quickly take a listen to it. It's a range of music that I listened to and was inspired by. One in particular tells the story of Sulis. So if nothing else, go listen to that song. It's marked that, so you can quickly get to it. Others are more instrumental. There's even one from Brazil, and I tried to get worldwide songs that I literally typed in Sulis and wanted to bring that she has influenced and has been spoken about and has been taught about worldwide. So, no matter what culture you come from or what perspective you come from, she's someone that really helps bridge things. And we're going to get into her now. So here we go. Who is Goddess Sulis? She, of course, is connected to the hot springs, to the waters of the earth, the healing waters. She also signifies harvest and wheat cakes. So now, as an American, wheat cakes don't mean much, but it meant a lot to that particular region of the world, because it was something that could be carried with them, that they could eat on their long journeys. And the other thing, when you're journeying and you're in a time and a place where there aren't fancy hotels or restaurants, there are pubs, and there are groves and hills and things, meadows to stay in. You need fire, and to stay warm, to stay alive, to cook your food, because more than likely you would have hunted and caught maybe a rabbit or something where you could cook it over the fire. And so she symbolizes all of those: water, wheat cakes, and fire. So when you think about that, she is this goddess that is providing the essential qualities of staying alive and living and thriving at that particular time. Now, she's grown into being a goddess that has been associated with all the sacred wells and springs, and there's a lot of them in the world, obviously. And she's also associated with the sun. And I think it's because when you think about a goddess that provides blessings, that provides the key elements to sustaining life, the other one that sustains us, that is necessary, is the sun. We need the sun, right? To warm the earth, to grow our food, to, provide vitamin D. So she is associated with the sun as well. And in her temples, because there were temples, again, all of the sacred water springs and wells were part of her temples. And there is an ever burning fire in her temple to keep the light on. And for me, the sun has always represented something that is beyond our understanding. We don't really know a ton. It's huge and it's so far away, yet it sustains our life here on earth. And then we think about the internal sun that we have in our solar plexus, our third chakra. And it is the glowing sun that radiates out warmth and keeps our organs and our life and our knowingness of who we are alive. And so as we think about that, see where this resonates for you. And I'm going to talk more about her and what she represents. There is some confusion about Sulis. The Roman goddess Minerva, they often put Sulis Minerva together as one goddess. That is not the truth of Sulis and Minerva. They are two separate goddesses, but the Romans did worship Sulis and Minerva because they were Romans, and Minerva was a goddess in their culture and in their history. They worshipped both of them at the Roman baths when the Romans conquered Bath. So that's why those are together, but they're not the same goddess. Just clarifying if you know any of that and wanted to know. So what would be her feast day? May 1st. It's Beltane. You'll often see May Day poles with ribbons and flowers, and it's a welcoming of that beautiful energy. And again, it's water and fire. And her colors are gold, yellow, blue, and green, which are a lot for a goddess. But when you think about gold and yellow, think about that solar plexus, think about that internal sun. And then blue and green, those are like the sky and the earth, right? Like there's this beautiful connection of Mother Earth here. And she has a strong correspondence with that because she brings the healing water, she brings the sacred fire. And so I know we're still in winter here in North America, but spring is coming and May is not that far away. And so, think about how this might change your perspective a little bit about May 1st. Incense. So I always love to bring in scents because they are so healing for me, whether it's an essential oil or an incense that I burn, or just an herb or supplement that I use. And hers are cinnamon, cloves, frankincense, and laurel. And laurel is bay leaf. So if you didn't know that those were the same, they are. So when you're cooking with bay leaf, it's laurel and it's part of her medicine, her incense, her scent. Cinnamon and clove are so powerful. They're so warming. Go have a cup of chai. And frankincense is something that has been around in Jesus's life. Frankincense was a big thing. He was gifted that from the Magi's, and it's a very holy oil, resin, and you can burn it. I've been wearing it as an essential oil, and it's also known for calming the spirit, calming the body. And so I encourage you to try some of these scents out and see what they do for you, because each one is personal. They affect us and impact us in different ways. And then I love plants and flowers. And so, again, the bay leaf, the tree is really big. Chamomile is is wonderful because it's a small little flower and it's yellow gold. Citrus fruits, because again, of their color. So lemons, oranges, and limes, all the citrus fruits. And marigolds and sunflowers are beautiful flowers to honor Sulis. They have a lot of other meanings and can be used for all kinds of different things. I know that Day of the Dead, marigolds are often put on the altar to honor our ancestors. And sunflowers are one of those flowers that is known worldwide as a happy flower. It is on so many things. It's on sheets. It's on cakes. Like I've made a sunflower cake. It's often people's favorite flower because it comes in a wide variety of colors and it's beautiful and it stands so strong and it's hardy. And if you let them grow, you actually get sunflower seeds. And several people eat those. A wide range of uses and perspectives on these symbols and on these scents. They all help us bring in Sulis a little bit more. If we really want to get to know her, you can invite her in. You can ask Sulis, come and teach me, show up in my life, in these qualities, in these scents, in these flowers, in these trees. And if you have a, a favorite water place, a river, a lake, a spring, the ocean, maybe it's the hot mineral baths. And so maybe take a little pilgrimage to that and sit in the warm waters and think about blooming. Think about bringing that internal fire up a little bit. Make that spark a roaring fire for 2025. And last but not least, you guys know I love animals. I believe in their qualities and in their spirit. And she has a lot of them. I was profoundly moved by her list. So Sulis is represented in eagle, lion, owl, bear, and phoenix. I think about animal kingdoms and they're all the same, but I think about these guys: eagle, the highest flying bird in North America; lion, an incredible animal that walks with their pride; and owl, the ability to see at night and to be silent and stealth; bear, the big, huge mother bear, father bear who comes in and can ravish and destroy, but also can be so super nurturing. And then phoenix, this beautiful bird that represents complete transformation, transmutation, where you will go to the ashes, you will be burned up by the phoenix, and then it rises again into something new, into a new version of itself. And it's so beautiful. I mean, those are powerful allies when we think about working with Sulis and talking about Sulis. So that was a lot. And I hope that some of these things sparked you like, oh, wow, that's so interesting. I want to invite you to get to know Sulis a little bit more intimately, one-on-one with yourself. And so you don't have to go to a spa. You don't have to go to healing waters. You can go straight to your bathroom if you have a bathtub, even a shower, because that really steamy, yummy, hot water that we shower with or that we sit in it allows us to invite Sulis to come and cleanse us. The power that she has around clearing and cleansing and healing is significant. So when you're in that hot shower or that hot bathtub, your pores open and it releases toxins, it cleanses your skin, your body, and she will release your tensions and any dis-ease that you have in your body. You might also want to light a candle since fire is a big thing for her. And so imagine setting up your bathroom with candles, a beautiful hot bath with maybe some essential oils in it, maybe frankincense, and you sit and you allow yourself to relax, to rest, and open up your mind and your heart to receive inspiration. And just know that you can do this at any moment, right? You can do the literal shower, the literal bath but you can also do it in your heart and in your mind's eye. You can take a moment and you can say, okay, I see the fire. I feel the warmth of the hot water pouring over me. And I ask that Sulis come with her beautiful energy to cleanse me, to heal me, to bring ease and flow and harmony into my body, into my life. That is something that is very easily done. It doesn't take any materials, and it only takes a moment to stop and close your eyes or keep your eyes open, but bring her into your presence. Okay. Because she is associated with May Day, I talked about ribbons and colorful things, and the young women, the young girls, the maidens would dance, and the boys would too, actually. But the young little ones would wear hair ties, maybe braids and hair ties in it, ribbons in it. And so, if you have a little girl or you want to connect to your little girl, um, maybe braid your hair, maybe put in a yellow ribbon. Um, there's another thing that everyone can do, which is sun water. There's a powerful practice in Ho'oponopono, where you put water in a blue glass bottle and you put it out in the sun. You put it in the window, you put it outside so that the sun can purify it, the sun can imbue it. And it is some of the most delicious water. It really does um, get sterilized in the sun because the heat of the sun burns off anything that's impure. And so you can use it to wash your face, to wash your body, and to drink. And I mentioned already that bay leaves are really a thing that you can add. So if you're a cook and you like to cook, add a bay leaf to your chicken soup, add a bay leaf to your chili. There's a lot of different ways to use bay leaf. And so maybe look up a recipe. All the other things that we've talked about, maybe plant sunflowers this year in your garden, maybe drink a cup of chamomile tea throughout the day to help ease your nerves and to, bring back in that sweetness that Sulis offers. And you know what? The other fun thing to think about when Sulis is around, and maybe this is more doable for some, go to a spa and have a spa day. In Newburgh, you know that I have a room at Resonate Health Spa, and it's a beautiful opportunity to rest, to get a facial, to have a massage, to buy beautiful things that support you, have energy work with me, and then there are other spas that offer all kinds of different types of massage, mud. Uh, I love it's the Korean spa massage place that scrubs you down and washes you off. And it's a completely amazing experience, very different from what we're used to in North America. But it's a beautiful way to spend the day. And you spend hours there. And so make it a spa day. There's so many little boutique spas that specialize in certain things, and find one that works for you. And then make that spa day and think about Sulis and drink your chamomile tea and relax, enjoy. Oh, this has been great. I really wanted to make it succinct. I wanted to talk about how where she came from, who worshipped her, and how she's still here. When a goddess starts way back in a city that's 1,000 years BC and then comes in, and then is worshipped through the hot baths, the Roman baths at Bath, England, it brought awareness to me that we can honor other cultures, we can honor the history, we can honor our own intuitiveness through looking at a goddess, a god, an archetype, a person of history, and really identifying what they stand for, what they are significant for, how to connect with them. These are all ways to expand your journey, expand your ability to have discovery in your life. Introducing new things helps keep the mind sharp. It helps feed the soul. And I believe that it will help all of us find our inner truth even more. And that's what this whole podcast is about. Learning to let go of the conditioning of the world and really trusting our own intuitive inner knowingness and allowing ourselves the expression that we desire. And so I thank you for joining me on this journey with Sulis. I will be posting quite a bit in the summary notes, so there's even more information available. The playlist, please check it out. And if you have any questions about her, please look her up. I found so much on the internet, so many amazing sites that have documented so much about her. I brought you the highlights, and I wish you all the best. May your week be wonderful, and I look forward to connecting with you next time.